All right, so we're trying something new entirely today. It's the first time I've ever gone adventure cycling and camera trapping in one day. We have so much gear right now. I mean, have you ever seen a guy in trail pants, right? Binoculars and a helmet strapped to his head, trail pants rolled up? I haven't. It's a bit ridiculous. We loaded up 10 camera traps, got our hiking boots, we got our lunch, we got all kinds of stuff. The bike's riding a bit squirrely, a little squirrely. Oh, this bike is way too heavy for that action. Oh, look at that. Raccoon tracks. I was out camera trapping in this area last year, and I came across these two little basins that were pretty dry. We've had 3 years of intense drought in a row. In the second basin I was in, it's this awesome little plateau over here. I spooked a whole herd of elk back in there. And that give me the idea rather that these areas are gonna be, those little basins I mentioned are gonna be full of water. That we kind of figured it might be the move to actually put some cameras up around those little depressions that are now filled with water. You know all those like African savanna, like Nat Geo specials, where there's like a water hole and there's elephants and there's, you know, hyenas and crocodiles and everything. Some meadowlarks chirping. We're hoping to get that out here today. We're not gonna have all that fauna, but we're gonna get some charismatic California megafauna. There's lions out here. We've gotten them our camera traps already. There's Tule elk, threatened Tule elk, and this truly is a throwback to what California used to be like. And so with all this wildlife, hopefully they're gonna be using those water sources, put some camera traps up, and then we'll come back in about, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So that's the mission. See that right there? That's our quarry, elk poo. Well, we're still plodding along here. And you can tell like this place is like about to go off. We've had so much moisture this year. And we're gonna come back here and we're gonna show you this oak savanna and all its glory. It's like a powder keg right now, ready to explode with color and life. Right now it's a little wet, it's a little empty, but that Mediterranean climate here in California is really about to showcase itself for about 4 weeks. But we got quite the climb to the ridgeline. I don't know if we got it in us. We may be pushing this bike until we drop some of this weight. Well, the bike has been overrun with clay. We still got a long ways to go, all the way up to that ridgeline. But unfortunately, I'm sorry, girl, she's immobile at this point. Back here, it's getting so caked on, it's blocking me from riding. Poor lady. Gotta go on foot. Well, here we are again, walking up steep hills. I guess there was no way around it. Carrying heavy stuff. What a disaster. So over here is where we're going later. That little plateau up there. Oh, that's the goods, man. That little oak savanna up there is, man, something else. All right, so the water, I think, is just over this hill. There's a loud noise over there. All right, let's take a look. I didn't really get the high ground on this one. I came in low, but I'm too tired to do anything else. Please have water. All right. This little guy's gonna have water in it for a while. And this is gonna attract some pretty good wildlife to it. Time to ring this in camera traps, huh? All right, so we put up about 5 cameras on this little pond here. Kind of a spooky setting. Nobody around. You know, the idea is that it's going to be so high up in the watershed, standing water high up in the watershed. Those animals that aren't coming all the way down. And I'm thinking lions. I'm not trying to jinx myself. Maybe the occasional bear, maybe the occasional bull elk who's not with the herd. So right here, I think we have some mountain lion scat. So mountain lion, when it will kill an ungulate, like a deer, an elk, the first thing it gorges on are the really like oxygen-rich intestines, like the liver and the heart and whatnot. And when they poop out at oxygen-rich scat from eating that, it gets bleached in the sun and it turns kind of bright white. And so here we're looking at probably a piece of a mountain lion scat. So yeah, lions out here, we know they are. We got them on the camera traps last year. Nice and white. Love poop. Mountain lion poop in particular. Means you're in kind of a wild spot. Gotta watch your back a little bit when you're by yourself too. Alright, so that last one was a thrash. And I apologize, we didn't really get the chance to show you the camera traps themselves. Running out of time, I got a wife and a baby at home. I can't be at her too late in the dark. People start to get nervous, mostly me. So we're gonna rush to the second one, and now we're going to the cool spot, the place I've been before. It's like this oak savanna, this little throwback, old school California landscape on top of this little plateau up here. Another grindy bike ride to get there. Got some elk tracks over here, riding through. I see no evidence of cows out here for years. Love it. Love burgers. Don't get me wrong, people. Love the burgers. Love the burgers. Don't like cows in 100% of my wild places. You know what I mean? Let's look at these elk tracks. Okay, so now we're kind of up on this plateau. And last time I did this wrong. I didn't really approach from cover. I just like rode my bike right up. Didn't know any better to this water feature. Now, I've already probably scared anything in this basin. But we're gonna stay here in this cover line, see if we can get to a spot, a little elevation, do some glassing. That's why we brought the binoculars. And see if there's any elk bedded down. And then we'll go around, put up our cameras, and we'll get out of here and we'll go home. You see there's elk paths all over here. Meadowlarks. Pretty cool. Definitely don't get many places like this in California anymore. Edge of a wilderness, nobody out here. Let's do a quick little look around. So we finally got here. Like we said, this place is fantastic. You can see there's that water feature behind me. But up here, 360 views, this beautiful oak savanna. There's a bunch of quail over here. You know, over here, we'll show you real quick. This is a good sign. I actually do believe that this is not a coyote den. I think these were badger dens. There's ground squirrels everywhere, tons of food for badgers. You can see right here. It obviously collapsed. Another big mound here. And you know, I've never seen a coyote make mounds like that. I think that much excavation was probably a badger. So here's what we're gonna do. You can see that well, we'll walk down there, but well, first of all, run out of time. I gotta be quick here because I gotta get it back to the truck before dark. But what we're gonna do there's just no trees really around the water feature like the last one to put up camera traps. There's a trail over here, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and get animals coming into the water. So we're going to use the water as an attractant. We don't ever bait or anything like that. Never bait camera traps. It's BS. So we're going to put camera traps on all these feeder trails as the animals are coming in to drink, and especially over here as they're kind of coming in from all this cover, right? I've already took the binoculars out at glass pretty good. I don't see any elk. I mean, the elk could be anywhere, right? But the fact that I jumped some last time was probably a coincidence. What's that right there, though? False alarm. All right, I do take it back. There's one little crappy tree, but it's right on a major trail. We're gonna put the camera right here. And then, like I said, I gotta get back to the family. You never know what you're gonna find out here. Got a whole newt. I think these are newts. We'll double check that. And right here on these rocks, there's like, I counted like 13 newts. They're all mating. These newts are everywhere. That's crazy. That's cool. Don't step on any, Joe. You dummy. So right now I'm in this upper plateau that's an oak savanna. And it's so cool to be out in these areas. These oak savannas. There's no cows. Just Tule elk, like old school California. This looks like a pretty good spot right here. I mean, probably just coyotes and elk coming down right here. Let's actually take a look right now, a little sneak peek at what this camera trap provided. Oh, look at that. Tule elk. Only found in California, folks. Native California elk species, Tule elk. Looking for the best pastures right here in this plateau. Look out, folks. Bull elk coming through. Got a wild turkey. A lot of predators, though. Turkey better watch out. Like this coyote. Love seeing coyotes out in the wild doing wild things. That coyote had no tail. There it is again. Look at that. No tail. I wonder what happened to that coyote. One of our favorite animals, the bobcat. Stalking around, looking for turkeys or rabbits. There she is again, a little closer. Out in daytime, too. Love seeing wild animals out in daytime. It means human impacts are probably pretty low in this area. When you're right along urban interface areas, these animals go full nocturnal. But to see these carnivores out in the daytime, we love it. Man, look at this place. It's unreal. Unreal. Every place like this in California, but this one, is owned privately, or it's overrun with people, or there's cows destroying it. I know it doesn't probably look like it, but when you're out here, this is the only place I've ever found like this. Well, that's about does it for today. Headed back to the bike right now. Super excited to come back and check out this area when it's just in prime spring condition, because there's nothing like it. We also set the record for camera traps in a day. We did 9. I realized you guys didn't get to see many of them, but when we come back, we'll show you where they all are. just pinched for time as always. But it's always good to push it physically. I'm exhausted. Can't wait to get in the car. Got a little coffee for the drive home, 2-hour drive home. It's just good to get out here and get away from it all and get those couple of zen moments of just thinking about terrain and animal movement and how pretty it is. There's a skull, I think, or something we're gonna check out. We're almost done. We're gonna go look at the skull first. You know, there are elk out here. Obviously, I've been talking about it all episode. Ooh, somebody died out here. Yeah, dead elk, man. Far out. All right, let's wrap her up. Great ramble.